Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dermveda's beauty blog, Skinterview. I'm your host, Vanita Sivamani, and I'm here today with pharmacist and skincare formulator, Dr. Chau Phan. Thanks so much for being with us today, Dr. Phan.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Well, we're delighted to have you. And for our first question, we really want to talk about your background. So what drew you to start Pleasant Care Pharmacy?
Well, the reason I started Pleasant Care Pharmacy is I've always had a love for pharmacy, number one. Number two is a lot of times pharmacists are thought of as dispenser, but there's a really old art of pharmacy is called compounding. And I love putting things together with my background of pharmacology. And what's got me started into skincare compounding is because of my son. He had really bad eczema when he was just 3 months old, and at the time, I didn't have my compounding pharmacy yet, but I took him to all the doctors, you name it, dermatologist, allergist, naturopathic doctor, even Eastern medicine doctor, and a lot of the times they gave him steroid cream. That's a Western approach to eczema. And being a pharmacist, I know that steroid creams long-term are not good for the baby, right? So I was not very enthusiastic about putting steroid cream on him every day. I tried to find different alternatives, but at the time, again, I didn't have a lot of choices. I used Aquaphor, you name it, Aquaphor, CeraVe, Eucerin, a lot of different moisturizers. So when I was able to have my own pharmacy and compounding pharmacy, I said, well, that's the first thing I need to do is to find an alternative for my son's eczema. That's when I went into the research of finding the cause of eczema and all that, and I was able to come up with a formula for my son that's a very good moisturizer. It helps him maintain his eczema for 5 years now, almost 4 years.
Wow.
What got me started into skin disease and skincare.
Wow, yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Gosh, well, that's so wonderful that you've been able to do that and had the knowledge and expertise to start building your own compounds and formulating, and that's amazing. So
thank you.
I want to talk now about your book. So you recently wrote a book called Age Gracefully, in which you give step-by-step instructions on how to take care of your skin as you age.
Yes.
So I'm curious, can you tell us about your beauty philosophy and the principles you drew on for this book?
Yes, so I'm actually a very simple person. What one would call like low maintenance. Growing up, I didn't use a lot of products. I like to use only one thing for my face, and so for the longest time, I've been using Oil Lay SPF 15 in the morning, and that's all I do. So my beauty philosophy is really just simple and natural. And that's the approach that I came up for my book, because I noticed that a lot of people sometimes use like 5 things on their face, and the regimen is just really like extensive and what they do every day. And I'm like, wow. And it doesn't have to be like that. And so I believe in simple regimen as well as using naturally occurring ingredients for your face. You don't have to go out and get the most exotic ingredients. I'm hearing a lot of like crazy ingredients that are being marketed out there. And to me, my philosophy is using the best natural occurring ingredients that have the best clinical data with a simple regimen. The principles that I use for this book is that I feel like if consumers know the underlying reasons of aging, then you can find ways to counteract that. That's why in my book, I first teach you what causes aging, what causes wrinkles, and then once you know the cause of those things, then you can counteract those effects.
Yeah, really neat. So can you tell us a little bit about, you mentioned kind of the causes of aging, and I know the 2 types, intrinsic and extrinsic, that you discuss. So how do lifestyle and environment influence them? And can you talk about what they are and the differences between the 2?
Sure, absolutely. So intrinsic aging is the natural course of life where, as we age, things deteriorate, and it's really out of our control. So those things are like, you get your hormonal imbalance. As you age, you make less nutrients, so there's nutrient deficiency. There's also the loss of cells as you grow older, so that's why people get like those dark spots on their skin. So that's called intrinsic aging, where as you get older, it's just a natural course of life and you deteriorate, unfortunately. But with extrinsic aging, this is actually something that's environmental or external factors that can cause premature aging. So these can include like extreme temperatures, there's the UV radiation exposure, pollution exposure, cigarette smoking. There's also the poor nutrition that's, what we eat, what we put in our body is a representation of, what we have on our skin too. And then there's the lack of sleep, and then the reduced water intake would also cause premature aging, as well as, if you go out and drink every night, that can also cause that. And stress is another cause of extrinsic aging.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. So talking about the season, so for summer, what are your favorite skincare tips for summer?
The usual, and I know most healthcare professionals will tell you that to use sunscreen for the summer, of course, because there's the UVA and the UVB radiation, and you want to make sure you use proper sunscreen, which means that it has to be broad spectrum. You want to do SPF 30 to at least 30 to 50. You don't need to spend any more than SPF 50. And another thing that I think most people don't know is actually eat a lot of antioxidants, and using antioxidant cream, I think, would be a good way to counteract those UV radiation during the summer and, throughout, but you get a lot of those during the summer. Antioxidant and sunscreen.
Great, thanks. And last question for you. What is your best advice for reversing the signs of aging? The $1 million question.
Yeah. For those of you who already, seeing those signs of aging, it's my best advice for you is it's never too late to do lifestyle modification, to eat better, to drink more water, to sleep more, give yourself if you change your lifestyle, actually you can reverse a lot of the things, of the signs of aging. Now, also as we age, I talk about there's a lack of nutrition that we eat, as well as our body actually produce less nutrient as well. So another best advice to reverse the signs of aging is to eat a lot of nutrient-rich food, and then also taking supplements to supplement the loss of nutrients. And then on your face cream, use face creams that have a lot of nutrients, so that way it will replenish it and reverse those signs of aging.
Well, great. Thank you so much for your time today, Dr. Phan, and for those really practical tips and guidance on how to take care of our skin as we age. So thank you again for your time.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a great time.
Oh, our pleasure. And to our viewers, please be sure to like and share this video and tune in again soon. Thank you.
Thanks.